What's up, fellow lords of gaming, and welcome back to another episode of Marvel Future Revolution. So today I want to jump into a conversation with you guys about one of the aspects of this update that was hands outright good. I mean, I think you'd be hard pressed to find anybody who could tell you that this is bad, and that's the battle challenge. Basically what they've done is they've gone through and they've redone the battle challenge reward system, so that way the first clear rewards were more rewarding, and they did a really good job on this. Basically, if you look at levels 1 through 30 inside the missions here, not only are you going to be able to obtain actually usable first clear rewards like costume draw tickets, Omega card draw tickets, and companion summon tickets as well, is that you're going to be able to obtain on every 5th stage clear. This is really cool, is you're going to be able to obtain costume summon boxes. So at the first level, you're only going to get a regular, it's not a selection box, but nevertheless it's still a costume clear reward. So you're only going to receive this the first time that you clear it, right? But it gets more interesting because you can see that the first clear is still the same and it repeats. But when you hit that first level 10 stage, now you're going to get 4-star region costume parts a selection box. So you're going to be able to choose from just a set of costumes inside here. This is good. You can see as the rewards continue to matriculate, you're then going to get costume parts B selection box, right? And so as you're going up through for that first clear reward, you're then going to get part C and parts D inside here. This is actually really good rewards, because what this is saying to players and what this is giving to players is that ultimately battle challenge inside here for the first time clear is going to be a way for you to obtain a set regional piece of gear, meaning that every player who's able to at the very minimum complete the first 25 levels of battle challenge, which to be honest with you does not have a high clearance rack. You could probably be about 500,000 power in order to do this. So that means every player before they even hit 120 will be able to reach a full regional piece of gear. My thoughts is that this was done because they want to put more emphasis on special costumes and less emphasis on regional costumes, which in my opinion is a good thing. Let me explain that so that way people don't derail this and be like, oh fuck, I can't get special costumes. Special costumes should be special, and they should be something that is in-game achievable for players in general. That's where the emphasis should have always been placed. There should have been a de-emphasis on having to pay for regional pieces of gear. Regional pieces of gear should have been something that players should have been able to collect simply through playing the game, and they would have been more accessible to free-to-play friendly characters and more accessible to characters on a whole, because if we're able to obtain regional pieces of gear, this would incentivize us in order to level up those pieces of gear across multiple characters and so forth, right? The special costumes should have been the ones that were in the shop. The special costumes should have been the things that were in the draw with the chance of getting these regional costumes. That's how it should have been. But those regional pieces of gears, those should have always been obtainable through standard gameplay. Go and create as many special costumes as you want to as a development team. I still find them overpriced. Go and do those, but those should have not been costumes that I basically looked at. It's sort of like if you were playing a game and you wanted to buy, I think in like WoW at one point they were selling like a sword over there for like $10,000 on the auction house. It's sort of like that, like, hey, you know what, I want the freaking Moonlight Greatsword in Elden Ring, but instead of having to do the work for it, I'm gonna go and spend $10,000 on getting it. You make it at an exorbitant price because it's really like one of those in-game levels. We have had that in games before, so you can't necessarily argue with the track record for this to exist. It's just that at the same time that you were putting special costumes inside the shop for an exorbitant amount of price, you were also doing this with regional pieces of gear, which was essentially locking out players from receiving gear that was actually going to benefit them. This was bad, right? So that this is a good thing, that I think that all players are basically going to be able to choose a regional piece of gear, especially because most players at this point understand and know which gear sets are for them. Along with that, they're also going to give you the ability to receive a 3-star companion. Now, keep in mind that this is not a selector, it's just a 3-star companion. However, the point is that every player, when they hit level 30, is now going to have a 3-star companion. This is good because it's a usable companion. It is a usable companion. Companions are not usable and basically just add as fodder to collection stats, which are very minimal upgrades to your stats in the first place. But they're able to use a 3-star companion inside the shop, inside the game. This is good. You can't complain about this. You cannot, because the companions have become part of the game. They have become part of the standard gameplay. If it's part of the standard gameplay, meaning that I need to have this in order to complete the content in the game, then it should be something that is obtained from within the game modes. That's the basic math. If it's something that is needed to complete the game, then I should have it achieved through the game, not through my wallet, right? That's essentially what it's saying. So that's good there, right? And then at the last part right here, you're gonna get a 4-star special card as well. So I really can't emphasize enough to the devs for Marvel Future Revolution. This is what we need more of. We need more of this. If your game is asking me to do something and it's achievable through the game, that's where it should be. You're asking me to do something that's within the game, that is needed by the game for me to excel, then it should be achievable to the game. Special costumes are not needed in order for me to reach levels in the game. This is the problem that I have with things like the new Epic Invasion, because right now they're saying that this event, in order to accelerate in this event and basically do the stage 5 of it, you have to have 1.4 to 1.7 million power. Well, at this point in the game, there's no way that your normal 90% of your player base is not able to reach those numbers. So that means that the only way for you to achieve those numbers is basically through your wallet. It's not achievable through your game. It's not even achievable through your game modes. Like, for instance, if I go and complete your story elements from the very first mission all the way to the very last mission in Dark Domain Part 2, that power level is not achievable. It's not achievable. You cannot hit 1.4 million power in this game at all by just doing those. It's not achievable. So why then in Epic Invasion do we have an unachievable number, right? Why do we have an unachievable number inside of the required powers? This is an event that's supposed to be accessible to everybody who's completed the events. This is not an in-game event, right? This is the kind of thing that we're talking about when we look at this game. Now, I cannot shit. This is a video about the battle patch and stuff like that, or whatever, the battle challenge. This is a good event. It is a very good event. Well, this is not an event. This is a very good content for the game, that now basically players are going to be able to attain some measure of rewards to pull stuff, right? It's RNG, but you don't care because it's a free reward to you given through the course of the game. So even if you don't make out like a bandit, some people are going to get lucky, some people are not. It will incentivize people, however, to complete and play Battle Challenge. Now, here goes a little bit of a problem. I don't know that they were necessarily looking at having this completed for players in order to be like, okay, well, we're going to give this as a reason for players to play Battle Challenge and to complete it on a weekly basis. The first clear reward is good, without a doubt. However, you guys need to change the weekly completion reward. I'm not saying they need to be the same tier as this, the first clear rewards, but they need to be better than what they are, because unfortunately your weekly clear rewards as you go through is squad rank, which isn't a bad thing. Squad rank is pretty damn good. You get some crystals, but then in between, the reward that you're seeing is a lot of what? It's a lot of freaking core boxes, and there seems to be an insistence by the team to not address this system. This core system that exists inside the game is absolutely terrible. We all recognize it, we all know it, we all fear it. Literally, as a as for completing 35 stages, you are telling players on a weekly basis that a 3 to 5 star core box is worth their time. That's telling players that they basically have an RNG chance at getting a 3 to 5 star core, and we all know what this means. It means a 3-star core, so let's not bullshit around. That can basically be used in an RNG effort, so it might not be the core that they want, it might not be the core that they need. It's just going to be a core of some RNG value that is going to be needed in order to, you know, level up to 4-star or 5-star and then eventually 6-star. And there's going to be some very low fail rate value to those that even when smashed together, that they're going to be bad. Meaning I can't smash 3 red cores together and get a red core. I can't smash 3 blue cores together and get a blue core. I can smash 3 blue cores together right now and have it be a 5-star core and somehow end up with a yellow HP recovery core and then be like, what the hell is this? What is this? And that's the bad part. So I love these first clear rewards that they have inside here. Highly makes it one of those things that, you know, I think every single player should actually, you know, go in here to try to achieve, because like I said, in order to do this last level 35 stage, you really don't need to be that powerful in order to complete this. This is almost like, you know, out the gate, you've completed the main level 100 story and you're sat at about 500 to 700,000 power, and now you can come in here, do these, and basically hit the path towards end game by doing these. And now this will lead directly into your raid, where you can then go, ah, yeah, cool, now I need to go into raid because I've got these new costumes and everything like that. And guess what? You start working towards the actual end game. The end game being level 5 difficulty, because now those are going to help me get to level 7 and stuff like that. That's what I want to see. Like, that's what I want to see. It's essentially that. Don't worry, we're going to get into a video about the companion Thor shards and what I saw from there. Don't worry, we can get into that. We will get into that. So it's really interesting in that, you know what I mean? It's one of those things that I expect that the battle challenge, I can't argue with players at all about this. This is really good rewards, and I want to give kudos to the development team over there for recognizing that being able to give this to players is going to incentivize them in order to continue on with the game. Because right now, prior to this, you basically have players stuck with non-regional gear and looking at the immediate thing that they had to look at was the Marvel Mall, which is discouraging to anybody with any sense to actually invest in the game, because then they're like, well, I've got to automatically pay in order to get these rewards, and that felt disconcerting at the very least. So good job on the battle challenge. Can't stress that enough. Amazing job. Until next time, guys. Peace.